You know what's so weird? It feels like so much has happened since we last recorded.
I don't even remember what the last recording was. I don't even think we used the last recording.
It was Seth MacFarlane Loves Booba.
Oh my god, that's right. Yeah, I edited that one.
That was like 2 months ago. In reality, I know we're like still seem everything, but we were expecting to be not in this set anymore. Yeah, we were planning on moving.
We were expecting to move the office, and that didn't work.
It's been delayed
by like forever. No, not forever.
No, not
forever. Delayed.
So we kind of like had to get everything back in, reset up, and this is gonna be the set again.
New rule: no weenies.
Yeah, Sunny is not allowed on as a guest anymore.
You should tell everyone where we got the weenie sign.
Adrian, if you remember from our Five Nights at Freddy's episode, got us this from for a Secret Santa. Got me it for a Secret Santa gift, which I'm very gracious about. Thank you.
So all you weenies out there, get out, you weenies.
Viewer count goes to 0.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, I know. It's been so long. I feel like so much has happened. There's so many times in the past couple of months where I've been like, that's a topic I want to talk about in the podcast. That's a topic I want to talk about. Okay. No, it's like there's so many that I can't like.
I guess, what are some topics that you want to talk about?
MatPat's gone. We make so many MatPat jokes, and now he's just missing in action.
He quit, guys. Can you believe it? He went and grewed up.
Yeah, the MatPat quit. And
he went to his wife's room and knocked on the door and said, "I fooled up."
Yeah. I'm surprised, but also I think about it and I'm like, that was pretty smart. Because last year he sold the channel to Lunar X, and it's like, okay, you cashed out.
I was going to say, like, he completely, like, sold the rights to his everything. And then he's like, okay, bye, law.
I respect the hustle. I get it.
Would you do that? Would you sell LSMark to Elon Musk?
Sure.
You would sell
not to Elon Musk. I don't know what he would do with it. But
why would it matter? What's the price number where you wouldn't care? I guess if the price is right. Yeah, what's the price number where you wouldn't care?
I always figured it like a subscriber is $1, you know?
A subscriber is $1. So you think your account is worth $500,000?
Maybe not worth, but if someone wanted to give me that, then I would...
You don't think they would make more than $500,000 off of what you have?
Eventually, but I don't know. I always feel like selling a channel, though, is not... Like, MatPat puts a lot of, like, he's pretty real in his apology, or his leaving video.
His apology?
It's just a theory. A game theory. Thank you.
I'm so used to it. But it's the kind of thing where he doesn't take the time to acknowledge how, like, people are not going to care as much about any of his channels now that he is not the star of it anymore. Like, that's just the sad reality of making your face the brand of something for like 10 years, you know?
You know, speaking of brands, Mark, we do have one cool brand deal we have to shout out.
Oh, yeah.
This is Some Ordinary Gamers podcast candy, guys. You like Mudahar? We'll eat his candy.
I was graciously gifted this by Gamer from Mars. These are the Sour Boys Epic Edition Some Ordinary podcast.
I tried it. I tried some earlier when we were epically Fortniting, but now you have to try some.
Yeah, this is my endorsement. Oh my! I don't even know what it is. It's like weird,
it's tape. It's like sour candy tape.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. And
take it out of the package. Show them. Yeah, look at that. Zoom into that.
It's just it's so much. I can't even take it all out.
See, he was giving me shit yesterday when we were playing Fortnite because he was like, "Don't eat it all." I'm like, "Trust me."
I was like, "I want to talk about it on the podcast or do a taste test on the podcast."
No way I can eat all of it. There's so much.
Oh my god, the sugar's getting everywhere.
I know.
That's why I never got this kind of candy as a kid.
That's even more than what you should have.
Oh, it's not sour. I mean, it's sour. It's not sour in a bad way.
It's not sour, but it's sour.
It's not sour in a bad way, you know.
It's a sour boys.
But it's. Yesterday when Veronica took it, she was like reacting like, ugh, like convulsing.
It's still too much.
But I guess I just had a lot of sour candy as a kid.
I really like the flavor though.
It tastes good.
So it's just so sour.
If you ever wanted to make a meeting halfway candy, what would the flavor be?
Oh, it'd have to be lemon something. Maybe lemon raspberry.
Sure, yeah.
Oh,
that would go well.
You don't like it?
No, lemon tasted candy's fine. I hate like lemon cake or like.
I love lemon cake.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Our wedding cake's gonna be lemon cake.
Half that and half
White.
Vanilla. But no, what are your thoughts on MatPat leaving? I thought you care, but I know you weirdly
do
like
care.
were around for MatPat, like early stuff.
I was there when MatPat started.
Yeah, which is weird because you were so like, ugh, MatPat, like for a while.
No. Mark and Sunny like to put on MatPat all the fucking time. Anytime we're gooning, anytime we're hanging, anytime at all, Fortniting, whatever. They always put on the new game theory of every or food theory or clothing theory.
Only if it's something interesting.
None of it is interesting.
I've never watched clothes theory.
Listen, I stand by this. I've been saying this for almost like 10 years now. Okay, MatPat peaked at FNAF theories, and that's the only thing he was good at, and he knew he couldn't get in the game anymore. He knew his tired ass had to fucking go home because people like Daco mopping the floor with him.
But then she puts on while Fortniting, I'm gonna watch MatPat Best Boobs and Gaming, and then she watches like 3 in one go.
Fuck off! I didn't even know that existed. The
Like,
only reason why I know
3 in one go.
the only reason why I know that exists is because of Mark and Jane.
But she's watching it for like the 3rd time, and then
She's
the
like, 3rd time. You wanna know why?
And then, she's like, "Oh, Luigi's cock size MatPat game theory. I'll watch that."
That was in the related, and it was very interesting. That was an interesting one. But I'll tell you this though: the only reason why I watched the boob theory one was just to take a snippet of it to put in a CD I made
That
for
is not
Jane.
true. That is not true.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory. The theme today, natural knockers versus falsified fun bags.
She made the CD like a week ago.
I made the CD 3 days ago.
We watched this game theory like 3 months ago. No.
We watched it 3 months ago
rewriting
on
events
our TV because
Not
Mark
true.
and Jane wanted to show me.
Not true.
Very true. Look,
Not true.
he has nothing on me, so he has to pull this one
We'll
out
ask
of his
Gian.
ass.
Guys, I'm going to put a message from Gian right here, confirming.
No, here's a message from Jane actually confirming I'm right. Getting back to what you had asked me. I was a big fan of MatPat. I was there for the beginning. And I really liked his the number one thing I liked was his FNAF theories. Occasionally the science ones, because it was like game Bill Nye.
I missed when it was like,
About science?
how much does a bullet bill weigh? You know, like I
Yeah.
liked that kind of stuff.
See, that's the stuff I like. The stuff that I didn't like is like Sans is actually Ness.
Where it's like lore. It's like lore theories.
And he knew that he could bank off of the lore stuff, which is why I say he peaked with the FNAF stuff. You know what I mean?
Because he
no
was just
other
going
ones.
out there,
Yeah, he was the only one really doing it. He was like the only one who was like talking to Scott Cawthon when the games were being like made.
Or having like, he was the only one Scott Cawthon would like
Tease.
kind of talk to and
Yeah.
like make comments on.
And I remember that blew my mind that he was getting teased by the creator about like, nope, you got the theory wrong, lol, you forgot
Yeah.
this. You know, like that was amazing. But now he's too old. He has a kid. He goes to
He's
his
got 2
wife.
kids.
He's got 2 kids.
Bonnie and Chica.
Shut up. Shut up.
He does have 2 kids though.
Okay, they're not named Bonnie and Chica, yes?
No, they're
Is one
named,
named
like-
Gregory?
No,
And
yeah.
Vanessa?
Yeah, Gregory and what's the old bitch from?
Vanessa.
No, for the little girl.
Piper. That's the actress.
Cassie, that's what she is. Remember in the one we played, Ruin, where you're playing as the little girl and she was annoying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. See, that game, I don't remember anything about that game.
It was
Except the ending was shit.
I hated the acting in it. I felt like it was so like it just took me out of it. Hearing like this little girl being like, no, this is not how Five Nights at Freddy's should be going. Like that's
Whoa, I almost hit that one.
yeah,
I better watch my step.
yeah.
It's like,
really,
shut up.
for a horror game. No, it shouldn't.
But
do
also,
that's not a horror game.
It is a, well, it's a thriller.
It's a baby horror.
It's a
game.
thriller.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't say horror, but
It's
thriller.
like a cool little theme park ride.
Yeah, what theme park red? The Smiler?
No, like a little dark ride where you're just going through and then something pops out of you and goes boo. You know.
Do you like those rides, those dark room rides?
I've never been on one that's like entertained me before.
Oh, okay. Wait, I think I hear a little.
Guys, look at this.
Whoa.
Whoa. He just wants to let on. But you know what else we did in the past couple months, which is also why we weren't uploading the podcast?
We went to Ireland.
We went to Ireland. I went for the first time in 2 years. I haven't been because of visa like stuff, immigration stuff. I was kind of like
in limbo for a while.
I was kind of like locked here, yeah, for a year.
Ooh. He's really biting hard. Okay, no more wins. You win. You win. You win. You win. That's right. Damn straight. So we were in Ireland for 3 weeks. We couldn't bring the little wench with us.
We tried to.
Yeah, we did want to, but we just couldn't. We didn't have enough time. But that's okay because it wouldn't have been fun.
It would have been hard with the little
yeah.
yeah, you. Yeah.
We wouldn't have been able to travel. What? We wouldn't have been able to travel around with this little winching around.
Um,
And it would have been too cold for him.
yeah, and it would have been him like stuck. Like we're going out for a day, and it's like he's just kind of stuck in the house, and I would feel bad for him. At
He
least.
would have Lola.
But no, Ireland was fun, guys. It took me until like the day before we were leaving to be like, oh fuck, we were gonna record a Friar Tuck's video.
yeah.
We were gonna interview Tom the Mouse. We were gonna interview Michael
I
Welsh.
forgot we were going to do a Friar Tuck's taste test for everybody so they could see.
But you know what it is? When you're in Ireland and I don't have a car there, she doesn't have a car there,
I don't
obviously.
have a phone. I can't like use.
You feel like so limited where it's not like, oh, let's go to Friar Tuck's, pick up some stuff, take it back to my house, and then we'll film a video. It was so like.
It was like, well, let's go to Friar Tuck's
we have
and
to
sit
plan
here
the
for
day.
6 hours until we get picked up later.
Yeah.
Which isn't like a bad thing because there was a lot to do around. But,
Yeah, and places
but
up
still,
and late.
it is very limiting.
Yeah, really.
You feel limited to what you can do because your schedule is all like worked around your parents and family's availability.
Who graciously
Who were
give
very,
us rides.
very kind to give us a ride
And
and feed us and house us.
you know what? I really like taking the trains in Ireland.
Me too.
It's like a nice little adventure.
It feels like you're actually like a person in the world. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, I know what you mean.
You're one other train seat that's full.
Yeah.
I always really liked also just walking around, like aimlessly walking around, like walking around Dublin or walking around Belfast.
See, I would have never did that until I met you, and suddenly it's like, oh, there's a weird thing whenever people are visiting Ireland, which has only been Veronica so far, but eventually there's like a weird sense of like patriotism that I never had before towards it, you know, where it's like, oh, this is this thing, this is where this happened, you know, this is cool.
Disco.
Um,
or this is the local chippy that we always go to.
Yeah, where it's like something so second nature to me, or like coming back and seeing all the stuff that's different, and it's like, oh, that little chippy is like gone, and they're like, oh yeah, it's over there now, and it's like, whoa.
yeah, they made it a pizza shop, so that place.
Yeah, so
Would you say coming back to Ireland after so long, there was a sense of like, I'm home?
partially, but then like whenever I had that feeling whenever I first came back here after the trip,
Really?
where I was like, oh yeah, this is my life. I gotta like like remember my daily routine. But after being here for a couple days, it's like, no, okay, I prefer this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first thing I had to do when I got home was clean everything head to toe. So I just didn't even go to bed. I just came back from the plane, came home, and immediately started unpacking and cleaning everything, which I'm so grateful for because the next morning I woke up and I was like, oh, this is lovely.
Yeah.
Clean home, our clean home with our little wenching and Bean and Sammy Ling. What was your favorite part of Ireland? Yeah, let's give them the Ireland rundown.
It's weird. There was a lot of stuff where I just didn't like. There was a lot of stuff where I'd like in the moment I was like, oh, this is this thing, and I kind of have to rush through it again because you're always on like a schedule there. So it's like, oh, I wish I could have like had Friar Tuck's one more time, even though we had it like twice, and it's like, oh, one more time though. I never got to properly enjoy it.
I never got a chicken burger.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got Supermax.
I got Supermax, and it disappointed me too because they gave me the wrong order and they put like sauce on it that I didn't ask for, and it's just kind of like,
When we went to Friar Tuck's the first time, I was like, man, I really, really wanted a Friar Tuck's. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, I don't really want that now. I'm okay.
But then when you eat it, you're like, okay.
Yeah. But then like 10 minutes later, you're like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have had that.
But no, Ireland was good. I liked it.
There was, we met up with the mouse.
We met up at the mouse a couple times.
He introduced us to his really, really cool friend, Connor, who's an amazing Constantina player. Don't know what.
Concertina.
He was fucking cool. He invited us to go to a drink and draw. So we went to this like, it was like an open stage and everybody can sit around and they can get their drinks if they want. And there's a bunch of tables around you. Just draw whoever is sitting up on the stage. So obviously they took volunteers. So I made sure to volunteer myself multiple times, which was pretty cool considering at the end of the drink and draw, after they were done taking like submissions of people like up on stage, everybody would come with their drawings and they put it up on the stage and you could vote anonymously, like who was your favorite. And the guy who won drew my poses. It was awesome. Here's the guy. Here's the artist. Here's his Instagram. Really cool. Pretty neat. Not gonna lie. And then afterwards, we kind of fucked around. And we just went from pub to pub to pub to pub, looking at all the like really cool decor on the inside.
Okay, that's something worth mentioning.
Yes,
okay.
That's where I was getting to.
Yeah, we went to a pub called Madden's in Belfast.
It's like a very Catholic Irish bar. Like clearly when the troubles were going on, like this is where people would congregate.
Yeah, if you don't know, brief summary, Belfast is pretty much like all but split into two halves. One is Protestant, one's Catholic. And they're like, they had very big like like wars over that
Yeah,
shit.
huge wars over the
hundreds of years ago.
Not hundreds of years ago. This was in like the
Thousands
60s.
and thousands of years ago.
This is like, but it had been going on for hundreds of years. So really, really cool, right? Kind of just like a timepiece. We were like, oh, let's go outside and like hang out while Connor rolls his cigarette. So as he's rolling his cigarette, we're all just chilling. And out of fucking nowhere, this big thumb fat pink man just appears out of nowhere to my left, in between me and Tom.
And I get to see him coming over. He like walks on, and he kind of like looks around, and he sees us, and he's kind of like awkwardly with his hands in his pockets, like stepping over, like as if he's not like coming over to talk to us. He does, but until he's actually there, in which he was like peeking over Veronica's shoulder, like trying to look at what she's doing when she's like rolling cigarettes with him.
And I'm just like, what's up, man? And he is fucking shit-faced. He is not looking at me. He's giving me one of these, huh? Who are you? Whoa. Yeah, but look at this. What?
Ring, better answer the graph on strawberry years in tins when I land on Los Angeles.
Yeah, so Big Thumb Man is near us.
Yeah, big giant pink Patrick Starfish looking man right next to us, watching me roll these cigarettes.
And he's really drunk, and so he's like, what are you doing? And then Connor's like, oh, hello. Like
Connor's like, can I help you? What's going on? And immediately this fucking pink dinosaur goes up to Connor and starts speaking to him in Irish, because clearly this is a Catholic Irish bar. So he's trying to like size him up, be like, oh yeah, you want to fucking talk to me? You're a real Irish guy. Yeah, starts speaking to him in Irish, right? So then immediately Connor looks back at him, talks Irish right back to him fluently. No skips, no beats, no nothing, no hang-ups. Immediately conversing back fluently with this man. And they were going on for like
5 minutes, like just they're just like talking about like nonsense, and so we're like,
but then Tom
starts trying to speak. Tom starts trying to speak to him in Irish, but Tom only knows like the Irish I would have learned with him in like at the start of high school.
He keeps saying like, I brush my teeth. I like to eat food. Every day I brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Where's the bathroom? Just
and
over and over.
It's making him really pissed off.
He gets so fucking mad. He starts screaming like, why do you just keep saying that? Why do you keep saying this shit to me? It's like I go to her speaking English and I say I brush my teeth every fucking day. Why the fuck? How am I supposed to fucking talk to you?
He's like buying into
just
it.
Getting
like
angry. Pink is starting to turn red, dude.
And so we all like kind of move inside to like get away from him and like leave him out there. Connor rolls him a cigarette, just like appease him. And so we're all sitting inside, like listening to the music. And I like, again, I'm like facing the back door, so I see him like slowly walk in and stand by our table, and he's kind of like looking down at us, kind of like listening in.
No, he stands in front of us. I shit you not. We're all sitting here. He is like standing over us.
And then Connor like looks up at him and is like, is everything okay? And he's like, hi, could I sit down with you? And then Connor's like, don't be weird. Just don't be weird.
He's like, sure, mate, you can sit with us. Just don't be fucking weird. Immediately, that guy looks over at Connor and goes, I feel like I fucking know you. You look just like my fucking friend. You look just like him. Connor's just like, I don't fucking know who your friend is. How am I supposed to know what your friend looks like? I don't fucking know him. I don't know you. Right? He's like, how am I supposed to carry this conversation? So eventually it gets really awkward. Like super fucking awkward.
We're all just sitting there like in silence.
While listening to like the band, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just like take out my sketchbook and I'll just draw. So then I look at him and I go, hey man, why don't you let me draw you, dude? I can draw you right now. And he's like, oh, you draw me, you know? So he poses, like, puts his little hands, like, tiny little smile on his face, his tiny little chubby cheeks. They're all pink. He's happy. So I start doodling him.
And Veronica draws the nicest drawing of this guy ever.
Very, very generously draw this man. Hand him the die. I go, look, it's in my sketchbook. Look, isn't that cool? Mark's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, right? He gets up, he leaves. So I look over at Tom, and I'm like, hey, you know, my friend Tom here is a really good artist. You should let him draw. I insist. Tom, I insist you draw this man. I hand him the sketchbook and the pen. The guy does not like Tom, right? He's been talking about brushing his teeth and eating food.
Tom just likes annoying people.
But Tom loves taking the piss out of random people, especially drunk people.
And earlier, it was set up earlier that night at the drawing event that Tom like draws the most ugly, like unattractive caricatures of people ever. Zach made a good comparison when you showed him one, saying it looks like a Picasso painting, where it's just really unflattering, like abstract proportions. But it does look like
that's
them.
the thing. Yes, it looks like these people, but what Tom Tom has a mastery that I will never ever be able qualified, you know, where he can capture people's features in a really realistic and honest way, but because he does that, it's really rude and unflattering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in this case, I could not tell if Tom was actually trying or he was just taking the piss.
I think it was a bit of both.
Because every time Mark looked over, Mark just like immediately had to like look away and just cover his face, just crying, laughing.
Guys, if you want, here's a heavily blurred video showcasing this. It's proof.
Yeah,
that's Tom drawing the picture in real time.
This is the guy. That's Pink Guy.
Yeah,
Pink
we'll
Man.
blur his face, of course.
Yeah, we won't out him.
Yeah, but maybe he's having a bad night.
Clearly, because at a certain point, as like I'm looking, I'm dying. Every feature he adds, I'm screaming, laughing. And if you know me, like I can't control the volume of my laugh sometimes.
And I think I'm being really discreet about it. I'm like turning my face like this and like laughing to myself really hard. And I like later on I was like, was I lying? And you're like, yes.
He was very loud, very loud. He was literally laughing in this guy's face, but just putting his hand up. See, but then this fucking starfish man would get mad, but he was like trying. Because
we're laughing, yeah.
We're laughing, so he's trying to take the sketchbook out of Tom's hands, and Tom's like, "What are you doing? I'm not done." And every time he would like get impatient, Connor would make a comment like, "I see, lad, when he adds the eyebrows, it'll all come together." I fucking started dying. Then he's like, yes, the shading on the upper lip. Perfect. You have to get that shading. Otherwise, it won't look like him." Just little things like this. So this fucking starfish guy is getting more and more impatient. And I'm like, okay, this is too much. I need a breath. Like, I need to just go to the bathroom and just like powder my nose or whatever. Go. Now, this is where I'm out of the loop here.
Yeah, so Veronica's gone in the bathroom, which leaves like, and the way this is, you saw the layout, like it's a square table, a really tiny square table. Tom is on one end, Fat Guy's on the opposite. I'm beside Tom. Veronica's on like one of the sides, and Connor's on the other side. I'll do a little map of what the draw looks like. And so with Veronica gone, there is now a clear open path to Tom and me. And so Tom finishes the drawing, and he doesn't want to show him at first. And we're like, okay, Tom, like, you got to show him. And he wants to see it. So Tom turns it over and shows it to him. And the guy just sits there, like, leaning over the table, like, squinting his eyes, staring at it with, like, no expression. He's not happy or sad. He's just staring at it, like, taking it in. And then he gets up really slowly, walks all the way around to where Tom's sitting, grabs the sketch, like snatches it out of his hand, puts it really up close to his face, and is like staring at it, like
standing right over Tom.
And he was so drunk that there's no way he could have even like seen what it looked like on the page because it was so close to his face. And so he just like pulls it away and he rips it off really slowly, crumples it up in a ball, stands there, and then he just sprints out the door and leaves. And so Connor like jumps up and's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" So Connor chases him and looks out the door, and he's all the way down the street, takes a corner, and gone. Never see him again. Never see him again for the rest of the night.
Like tearing out like a part of your diary so your mom won't find out. Like,
yeah, before in the time it took for Veronica to come back, we were all just sitting there going like, "What is he like?"
You want to know what I did in the bathroom? I didn't even use the bathroom. I went upstairs, moved my hair for 5 seconds, and then was like, "I'm done." I came back, he was gone.
That's what I was saying. I was like, Veronica, you're not gonna believe this. This is like too outlandish.
It happened so quick.
And it's a case where, yeah, I was sitting there like, what did he think that was like something we were going to post? Like, did he think that was like a photo of him where it's like, here's like, this guy. Him. Yeah, and he thought people would like that he looks like that. I don't know. Like, but it was just so like, I wish I was inside his mind to know what happened.
You wish you were in his mind's analogy?
Yeah, to see like, to see what he was doing. Like what like weird wires got crossed there and made him come to a conclusion that he had to rip it out and run away.
It was clearly a thing where he was like, I think it's one of two things. One, it's I don't want these people posting the shit of me online. People will know who this is because this is way too good. Or two, he was like, oh man, the woman's gone. Okay, I just need to pull I don't want this image to be presented in front of her. I'm going to rip this out and run away.
Maybe, yeah. But it's still like, it's so rude.
But
he could have broke your book in the process.
Yeah, he did take my sketchbook like in his own hands, which that would have made me nervous if I had been there.
We were all like, and this is all, every like step of his like actions was like 10-second pauses between. So we were all like, I was fully anticipating him like hitting Tom over the head with the book. Like I was really expecting.
What would you have done?
I think I would have tried to grab the book off him, and then Connor probably would have beat him up.
Yeah, Connor and Tom would have definitely beat his ass up. But it was one of the best
was just like,
nights.
what the fuck?
It was
yeah.
one of my favorite fucking nights in Ireland. It was just so fucking weird. So many weird people that night. It was cool. We got to hear live music and like 3 different bands because like every pub was playing live music.
Yeah,
which
because
was
this
cool.
was around New Year's. I think
Yeah,
this was New Year's.
No, this wasn't New Year's. This is after
No,
New Year's.
yeah, this is a little after, but it's like
New Year's was fun too.
yeah, New Year's was fun.
We were hanging out with Tom and his other friend who he
In the
plays
same place.
music with. No, it wasn't.
It was Belfast, is what I
I
mean.
mean, oh yeah. It was in Belfast, but we also did pub hopping for New Year's, and that was really cool because Tom played for a majority of it, and then we had just enough time after his set to like go over to the closest place and like have the countdown. But the
closest place that
was
wasn't busy.
It was a gay bar, and constantly guys kept trying to come up to Mark and Tom, mostly Tom.
Yeah.
I think because he had a guitar and he has like piercing blue eyes. So and all these guys kept coming up to him trying to like have him to be a
Try
New
to
Year's
kiss him. They would grab him.
They would just
We
grab
were
him.
at a different pub on a different just sitting there, and this old lady came down and sat down,
Dude.
and she had black teeth,
Caroline. She called herself Sweet Caroline.
and she would look at Tom and be like, "Give us a kiss," and Tom would be like, "No."
Give us a kiss. Give us a kiss.
And she's like,
She is this far away. She
Yeah.
keeps like going up to Tom and touching his hair.
caressing his
like-
hair, yeah.
Like, give us a kiss. Come on.
And Tom's like, "No."
Tom's like,
No.
I have a girlfriend. No, I'm not interested. Go away.
And she would like get up on the stage and like start like dancing, saying she was like the queen.
She started saying, "I'm the queen. I
Yeah.
win. I win." Which I'm like, that's damn fucking straight, Sweet Caroline. Hell yeah, you win. Fuck yes. But see, the more I was like gassing her up, the more she wanted to stay at our table and fucking chill.
Yeah, and
with
then
us.
Veronica leaves at a certain point because she's getting too much. And it's like, you brought her here.
I did not bring her there. She showed up just like Poogie and Starfish.
Yeah, that's his new name.
Which, gotta talk about
Poogie's such a long... I feel like we've told the story of Poogie.
We've
at
told
least
the
first
story of
part.
Poogie the first time, but we didn't say the part 2 this time.
Poogie was... I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast. Was a guy we met like 2 years ago.
The last time literally the last night Mark and I were in Ireland 2 years ago.
At a pub in my hometown where we met up with Tom again. And this big old... really old, like, thumb guy, pink, like, similar looking to the other guy.
Like, it looked like his older brother or dad.
Was stumbling around really drunk, and he sat down beside us, and he was like, "I know who you are." And I was like, "Who?" And he's like, "You're this person's son. Like, I was best friends with your dad in high school when we were 13. And he started telling us about how he, like, moved to Japan to become a jockey and got married. And he's back now, divorced. And he just kind of, like, wanders... I asked my dad later, and he just kind of like wanders the pub every night and like talks to people.
He's just a lonely man.
And so Veronica starts like, or Tom, starts like fucking with him by showing him 21 like My Name is Jeff memes on his phone, and he gets really annoyed. He's like, "No, see, I don't find that funny.
I don't find that funny."
And
he's like pissed, like, "I don't find that funny."
And Tom would just like Tom would be like, "What do you mean My Name is Jeff? Like, what do you mean?" Like he'd like start like
You'd,
throwing
like,
in like
look
weird
at
like
him.
dumb memes.
You would look at him and be like, "My name is Jeff."
Yeah.
My name is Jeff, and would say that to him over and over. He's like, "I don't fucking care what your name is."
Yeah, that's right.
But okay,
and
so,
Tom would like film him. Tom would put his camera in his face and
so
like.
fast forward, right?
Sorry.
Fast forward.
It was like the scene in Boa's Afraid. They're in the car and the girl has her friend with her.
Oh my
and she's
god!
like filming
him and like forcing him to smoke
Your
weed.
healing says you need to relax.
That's okay, really, thank you. I already took some pills.
Yeah, so we weren't doing that, thankfully.
No, yeah, we weren't doing that.
He
but
was more than willing to come sit with us and.
He was, and so
Talk to
fast
us.
forward 2 years later, right?
A couple of weeks ago.
Poogie's back at a different pub.
As me, Veronica, and Tom are meeting up for the first time in 2 years and reminiscing about Poogie.
From the last time.
Tom looks over and's like, "He's over there. What the fuck?" And
I
we
was
all
like,
look over.
no
and
way.
He's across the room.
He's fucking there. Comes over to us. Again, comes over to us, but this time does not fucking remember
Yeah,
us.
and Tom has to be like, look, and he shows him the video of him from 2 years ago, and he's like, "Oh, I do remember you."
Then as like we're like catching up with him, and we're talking to him about shit. And at one point he's like, "I can break out of a chokehold. See, I'll show you how to break out of a chokehold."
Right. And
he's like, "I'll show you what I can do self-defense because I took self-defense classes for years."
So I get up and I put him in a chokehold, And we could probably show this and censor it.
Yeah, because I don't think you see his face.
You do, but we can censor it because
Yeah.
I have him in chokehold.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And so I put him in chokehold, and I'm like, I was really, because he's really drunk at this point. I was really scared that he was gonna try to like flip me over or something,
and I
or
told
brick
him,
my arm.
I told him like, listen, do not hurt him. Show me a slight demonstration. If you hurt him, I will rip your face off.
So he's put me in a chokehold, and he's just sitting there, and then he pulls out his lighter and
He
like
tries
lights it
to
under
light-
my arm.
He fucking immediately like takes his lighter out.
Yeah,
lights it
like
up,
really within a second.
Like in like no time. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I run over. I'm like, what are you doing? Slapping his head.
He's, like,
that's how you,
laughing.
he's like laughing. That's how you get out of chokehold. I'm like, oh, you fucking idiot. So then at a certain point, as the night progresses, and Sweet Caroline's at our table. I'm like, fuck this. I don't want to hang around this fucking bimbo. So I go over to Pooji and I'm like, listen, man, give me your shoe. Go on. Come here. Put your foot on my knee. Come here. Give me your shoe. Takes his shoes off. Takes my shoes off. I go,
Her high heels.
and I'm like, here, try these on. And then I try on one of his shoes and I'm like, oh, we're the same shoe size. I'm like, great. So I put his shoes on. He starts putting mine on. And his like other old drunken buddies who are around him start laughing at him and taking their phones out, videotaping him. And Tom comes over like Bo's afraid, videoing him. And here it is, right here.
He's dancing.
He's dancing with me.
He's into it.
Yeah, he's totally into it. Which, honestly, more men should wear white boots like that.
Yeah.
Genuinely, yes.
Like
Genuinely,
Fuji.
like Nacho Libre.
Yeah.
The nice white boots, like Sid from Hey Arnold with his beetle
I
boots.
thought you were gonna say Sid from Toy Story.
No, he doesn't wear boots.
Yeah, but that's the story of Pooji, in which we met the other guy later, and I named him 2G.
Yeah, it was Pooji and 2G. 2G was the one at Madden's, the one that ripped the drawing out.
So someday we'll meet.
Who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe we'll run into him for the third time the next time we go to Ireland.
Yeah. Hopefully he hasn't seen this podcast.
You know what's great? Well,
What?
was great, I mean, about being in Ireland. You want to know what was great about being in Ireland, little wench? Do you want to know? Oh, here, come closer. Let me tell you. Yeah, take a seat. A great thing about being in Ireland was being able to watch Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, we got through like a season.
We
for sure.
watched like 2 seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
And like 3 seasons of Shameless.
It was fucking awesome.
Because I was working on the regular show video at that time. Dude, that was a
Yeah.
nightmare. Because I got there and my computer that I bought brand new 2 years ago just would not even turn on. And when it would be, I'd like edit like 5 minutes and it would just blue screen crash.
It was really bad.
Veronica thankfully figured it out. It was needed updated.
It was really stupid. You want to know what it was? Is that his gaming PC is an HP, right? It's a Hyper Pavilion, right?
Omen.
But Omen is the brand of an HP gaming PC, right?
Yeah.
So you would think in like the HP settings that it would tell you that you would need to update your drivers and all this other shit. Nope. It's a completely separate thing.
They have HP drivers and Omen drivers.
Which is like kind of like the equivalent of a NVIDIA graphics card kind of driver, you know, like those kinds of settings. And because those were not updated, Mark's computer would just blue screen.
And it would barely turn on, which was really annoying. But once I got it figured out, we kind of got into a groove. But we only really got into that after our flight got delayed because Aer Lingus was awful.
Dude, okay. Fuck Aer Lingus. Let me tell you. Damn it, dude.
Aer
From
Lingus, if you're
day-
watching this, I think we need a couple free flights over here.
Yeah, I'm thinking me, Mark, diswenching, maybe
Couple nights in Hawaii.
in Cabo San Lucas. Look, he has a pee. Look how big his belly is.
Oh, he doesn't have to. Why are you poking him?
I'm poking him because his belly's so big.
He peed not long ago.
Let me give the rundown of the bullshit I had to deal with, okay? So I had to get a new passport, one that has my married name, since the only other one I had was one that had my maiden name, right? So the only way you can do that is by making an appointment at the passport embassy, but the only way that they will give you one ASAP is if you have a flight that's going to be happening in the next 10 days, which means I had to go all the way to the passport embassy, put in all my shit for my new passport, and then they were like, okay, well, the day before your flight, come back over here and pick up your passport. So I just have to like hope and pray that they will have it ready for me the day before my flight.
Yeah.
And they do. Great. No problem. Now all I have to do is call Aer Lingus.
Because we booked our flight like 3 months ago.
So my maiden name was on my flight ticket. So I call Aer Lingus. They go, ooh, see, because you have a connecting flight coming home, we can't change the name because that connecting flight is actually American Airlines. So you're going to need to call American Airlines. So I call American Airlines. They go, ooh, see, because you booked with Aer Lingus, you actually can't change your name. We have no jurisdiction. You're going to have to call Aer Lingus.
Which is so dumb that they can't communicate with each other.
Yes,
at all.
considering that they both are partnering for these kinds of itineraries.
Millions of flights every year, yeah.
Which, this was purchased on Aer Lingus' site. Wouldn't they have the jurisdiction being the company I purchased the tickets from?
Yeah.
You'd think. So I call Aer Lingus back. They go, oh, yeah, sorry, we actually can't help you. You're going to have to buy a new flight. And I'm like, you are asking me to buy a $2,000 flight.
That would be more expensive now.
That would be more expensive now. You're asking me to buy a $2,000 flight the day before I'm supposed to be leaving because you can't change my last name.
Which is so, like, it's a ticket. Whoever has the ticket, like, I could be able to change it to a different person if I wanted to, you know?
You
like,
own it. It's yours. You
yeah,
bought that.
I bought that
it.
space on the plane.
But no, that doesn't matter. So for 3 hours, this fucking bitch was running me in fucking circles about how she just couldn't change my last name. She was like, I'm sorry, the supervisor here can't assist you. So what I recommend you do is call in an hour so our other supervisor can help you. Because if anybody can help you, she could. But I'm also going to let you know, I highly doubt we'll be able to make this change, considering it's just too short notice. And I'm like, that's retarded.
You could only change your thing the day before.
Yeah, I'm like, that's retarded because I wouldn't have even had my passport to put my passport number on my ticket until the day before.
And then you waited like an hour and no one got back to you. You didn't get a phone call.
No, I never got a phone call. So then I called Aer Lingus again. And the woman that I spoke to immediately handled it. In
like
less
5
than
minutes,
5 minutes.
yeah.
Handled it immediately.
Didn't even question it.
No,
She was like,
didn't
sure.
question me. Completely different woman I've spoken to. The other one was a complete. So then 5 minutes later, I get a call from the same woman who was a. And she goes, I just got news that they changed your flight. I'm so happy for you. We worked really, really hard to make this happen for you. And I just thanked her. And gave her all the praise that she would want to stroke her fucking ego like later that night. But deep down, I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Like, you knew what you were doing. You knew that you wanted, like, you just wanted to get money out of me. You just wanted me to buy a new ticket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which they got out of us on the way back when we were sitting at a fucking gaming store playing Fortnite on the PCs. And I get an email being like, oh, hey, due to weather conditions in Philadelphia and your connecting flight on the way home, you might get stuck there. So we're going to offer you to change your flight for free. And I was like, sweet, another week in Ireland, let's do it. So we call them up, and they're like, ooh, sorry, because of the same thing, it's actually done through Aer Lingus. You can't do it.
It was different. It was American Airlines offered this to Mark and me, but then Aer Lingus was like, well, we don't have any notifications of bad weather, and everything is still on track.
American Airlines were the ones who did. Aer Lingus were the ones who didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Aer Lingus was like, we don't have any notifications of bad weather, so we can't change your flight because it's still on. It's still like happening. It's still on time.
We're trying to explain it's a thing where it's like, no, we got an email saying that like there's a strong chance we will be stranded in Philadelphia. And imagine, okay, I have to get the regular show video out in like 3 days. So if we get stuck in Philadelphia, I'm fucked.
I'm asking everybody if like, hey, is there a chance like if we get stranded, we can use the computers? Or we
Which
can use
thankfully
your
they
office?
would have, yeah.
And they were all very nice, and they were all like, yeah, we'll try and figure it out. We'll see what we can do or whatever. And that's just like the worst case scenario. While I'm on the phone with them, Mark, you're at the dentist.
Yeah.
And I'm on the phone with them, and I'm like, listen, dude, you need to understand. Like, if we get to Philadelphia, how are we going to get home if we're stranded there? This is a connecting flight. If Philadelphia is telling us it is too dangerous for us to depart to LA from Philly, then wouldn't it be too dangerous to land from Dublin? Wouldn't that just, like...
Yeah, who knows if we won't get, like, landed somewhere else.
Yes.
For emergency.
Exactly. And so this guy was just like, I can't help you. And I said, well, then transfer me to somebody who can. Well, no, they're going to tell you the same thing. Well, that's great. Let them tell me the same thing. You don't have to be that person. You can just transfer me to somebody else. And then he hangs up on me. So I'm like, oh my God, fuck this.
And then I try to call it, and the woman at Aer Lingus is like, sure, I can look into that. And she starts looking into it for like 5 minutes. I'm on hold. And then I run out of service.
So then I have to wait till we get to Mark's parents.
No,
I call them again. Yeah.
I called them a bunch at my granny's house, though, remember?
Right, that's
on her
right.
landline.
That's right. And the guy was like, can't help you.
Yeah.
Won't help you, can't help you.
So we ended up just having to spend like another $600 to extend it, which wasn't as bad.
It was $700.
Really?
Because it was $350 or $380
each. Okay.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Which still, it's like that fucking sucks.
It's like you offered me the free flight. Now
I
I'm having
know.
to pay $1,000 just to fucking.
But you couldn't. That's the thing is we couldn't change our flight because Aer Lingus kept saying, "Oh, we can't change it because you have a flight later with American Airlines." And American Airlines is like, "Well, we can't change it because you booked with Aer Lingus." So
It's like a paradox. It's like, what can I
okay,
do?
Like an Ouroboros.
But it's like I had to do it. I had to do it
Yeah,
for
had
the
to do
video.
it.
So guys, that regular show video. If you want to give super thanks in the comments for
Super chats.
$750, that would be amazing.
Guys, if every one comment gave 5 million wench coins, we'd have 1 billion wench coins. See?
What else? I feel like there was something else going on though. Other than I know we
all
went.
the Some Ordinary Gamers and Completionist stuff. That was
That's
pretty
right.
wild.
So someone recently added me in one of my old tweets from like 2018, which I just realized in that moment was 6 years ago. And then in the tweet, I think I'd said something like, "The Completionist was bad ever since Greg left." There, I said it, and they were like, "Whoa, you like was like the prophecy," and I'm like, "No, this content's been bad for like 6 years. That's all that means." Like,
That's so dumb.
my issue with Gerard, aside from the little charity stuff, was that once Greg was like the comic relief and Gerard was like the straight man. Once he fucked over Greg and Greg was kicked off the show or left the show, it was like Gerard was like, "Okay, well, I'll be the funny guy too. I'm funny." Because Greg had all the memorable moments and I got fucking nothing. So I'll try to be the funny guy too. And it just didn't work for me. There's certain YouTubers where it's like you think you are like this shit.
You
yeah.
think you're him, dude. He
Where-
literally thinks he's him.
It's like, okay, if you're funding a whole ass documentary about how amazing and unique of a channel you have when all you're doing is playing video games, it's like
But also hiring all of your friends to be like, yeah, he was really
hiring
fucking
Aaron
cool.
Hansen to be like, yeah, nobody had thought about playing a video game before. Like,
New intro and there's like new graphics and I'm like, whoa, this looks amazing.
Yeah, no, it's just dumb. It's like a whole fucking documentary about him smelling his own fucking dick cheese. It's like, it's so like, so grossly like superficial, so grossly like fake and phony. And that's when I'm like, don't like you because you suck.
it's like, yeah, it's like you're giving so much weight to what is
Same
just
thing
a
with
YouTube
JackSepticEye.
channel. Yeah, I was really disappointed because he made a documentary and it was like in theaters, I'm pretty sure. And we watched it all and it was just him being like, "Yes, I'm JackSepticEye and I live in Ireland."
The whole time he's like, when I was a little kid and I was in Ireland, I used to do this fucking thing. And then it's him going to Ireland being like, now I'm a grown up and I remember when I was a little kid, I would do this fucking
But it was
thing.
so like,
It's going to be a journey through my life, from the start of my life to whatever the fuck this is.
So
whenever
lame.
he's on his because it's like half documentary,
stage
half stage
performance.
performance. And when he's doing the stage performance, it's always like he sets up this Ireland thing to be like, "Look how goofy and wacky this is. Aren't Irish people silly?" But then it cuts to him in Ireland and he's like, "Wow, this is really emotional for me." And it's like,
oh,
what tone am I meant to be feeling from this?
he
Like,
picks
is Ireland...
up picks up his crusty sock. I remember my first crusty sock in my
This
room.
thing is that it's this weird thing where it's going back and it's being like, wow, whenever I first started YouTube, I was depressed, and now I have all these fans who
And money.
who like need me, and it's like do it if you want. I don't care, but it seems so like
I'm not
why
gonna
is,
respect you.
why is this a documentary I have to pay to see in theaters?
That's
you know?
what I'm saying. It's like that's.
I'm paying to see you give a highlight
But
reel.
what is the consensus of the documentary? What is the point?
I don't even remember what it was called. Let
It
me
was
see.
called JackSeptic Butthole, the movie in 3D in smell-o-vision. You can see the crusty sock in 3D, wench.
It has a 7.1 on IMDb, which is too high.
Yeah, that's.
But that's clearly just based off his fans like going like, "Wow,
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid and I watched JackSepticEye. Now look where he is." Like that's the approach. Maybe we're just haters though. It's just so like, I get it. Like he can do whatever he wants, and it is kind of like it's like, oh, you're being a hater. But at the same time, it's
I'll
like
gladly be a
it's like
hater.
that's a piece. That's a movie. Not many people get to make a movie, you know, or documentary, you know. And you clearly were given this opportunity to do that, but you had nothing to say,
Except
you know.
jerking yourself off.
And it's that thing where it just feels like this is like a whole wasted thing where it's like Markiplier, good example. I don't care for Markiplier. I don't like watch Markiplier videos or anything. But he fucking got the chance to make a movie, and so he's not making Markiplier the movie. I'm
No,
Markiplier.
he's making a movie.
He's making the Iron Lung Gamer the movie.
Ireland Gaming the movie.
You have ambitions and you have something you want to do, and I
Whereas
respect that.
all of those other guys all circle jerk themselves off all the fucking time.
It comes off like it comes off, maybe not in Aaron's case, but it comes off for like the Completionist, our first like JackSepticEye. It's like kind of a one-trick pony kind of thing where it's like when you try to branch out, it all still has to be like, oh, I'm a YouTuber. Like, and it's not even like the idea of being the YouTuber is the thing, you know, not about how, because in reality, like JackSepticEye could be the most like charismatic, like charming, funny guy on planet Earth, but it's just a Let's Play, you know, let's be real. So it's like you're trying to add so much like
weight and wholesomeness
and
like
make it
validity.
so grand and make it seem like this is something that like is more than it is, and it just to me it comes off so phony.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
It comes off phony. It's like you're trying to establish a false reality here, and I get the idea of like wanting to reminisce or make like a thing being like, wow, this is how far I've come, but at the same time, it's like make something that has substance. Yeah.
Do you think anybody would take the fucking JackSepticEye movie and ship it out in space for the aliens to watch? No.
No, it's meant to be like a t-shirt on his store. You know, it's meant to be like a product to consume.
Ooh,
you know?
That's gross.
It is gross to me. But obviously he wouldn't see it that way. His fans would never see it that way. And it's like, it's fine, you know?
And that's
whatever.
fine.
And people, you can say whatever you want about like my videos or whatever. I don't think they're art. I don't like it. But I guess that's the difference where it's like,
you're not going around being like, yeah, I really love helping my community with my ranking videos.
I really love like helping my viewers' depression by talking about SpongeBob. Where it's like, if someone watching your Let's Play and a byproduct of that is that they feel better or they feel like they gotta forget about their life, like that's fine.
That's great.
That's amazing.
But I don't think you're... Sorry, go on.
It's like these YouTubers who like make their apology videos where it's like, I get so many emails from fans saying that my videos help their depression, and it's like, but you're doing that, but you're not, you know?
Yes.
Like
you didn't actively make your content to help people with their depression. You actively made your content to be popular, famous, and a somebody, right?
Yeah, where it's just like...
You wanted validity.
And it only annoys me because you see stuff like... Remember when that whole JackSepticEye Mr. Beast, like, drama was alive for like a week?
I forgot about that.
Obviously, like, I don't care.
See,
like,
I forgot about that, so them making up obviously did the trick.
But it's this kind of thing where I know JackSepticEye, like, apologized or something. I don't know, but
I don't even remember what it was.
He made like he was someone put him on a lie detector, and they were like, "What do you think about Mr. Beast?" And he was like, "I think he's harmed the YouTube landscape because this, and that." Like, because he set up expectations that it's like money you put into a video, and it's like how dramatic you can make it, and it's like that's like not Mr. Beast. That is like this. That's the same algorithm that brought you up.
Yes.
You know, like it's just evolved and
but
changed.
Also,
it's like the animators whenever like from Newgrounds who were like these fucking Let's Players just coming up and like spamming out content every day for like this, and it's like it's the same thing.
You're getting mad at the game because you can't play it fast enough. Mr. Beast, hate him if you want. Mr. Beast actually tries changing the world. Okay. Hate him if you want,
and
but
he's
it's
doing
true.
it for profit.
And,
like it's like, well, he's still doing
Philanthropist, okay, pretty insane. Okay, he does some pretty wild shit. Where the fuck is JackSepticEye doing that? No, he's just jerking off on his crusty sock and then makes a fucking documentary about it. Okay,
I mean, I'm sure he's done charities before, but that's the thing. I don't even know JackSepticEye. I don't watch his videos.
I'm saying like content-wise, right?
Yeah.
You can argue JackSepticEye has donated or done enough streams or whatever.
It's pretty irrefutable that someone like Mr. Beast has helped the world more than JackSepticEye.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
And I let me put this out there. If Mr. Beast made a documentary where it's like, I'm Mr. Beast and I'm awesome,
I would say the same
shit
about him.
And then Carl Jacob walks in to be like, I met Mr. Beast when he was so small, and
I would say the same shit about him.
And it's like it's the same thing.
Yeah, he's circle jerking himself. People like Gerard, people like JackSepticEye, people like Pro Jared, them. I don't respect them. And so when I see things like the Completionist documentary, and then I see like what he's going through,
what he's done behind the scenes,
and what he's done, I'm like, yeah, that's obvious.
Like someone who makes a documentary about how cool they are obviously is trying to like prop up some false image.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Or it's just like, I'd rather you use your resources, time, and money to make something that actually has some kind of like
substance,
artistic merit to it, you know,
integrity,
and it's not just made to be consumed and to make someone go like, I feel good about being a JackSepticEye fan.
My belly's so warm for the Completionist.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
We turned into such haters.
Whatever. Listen, I'm sure they're lovely people to their friends and families.
Except the Completionist.
But I'm sure JackSepticEye is a wonderful person.
Sure, he's a nice guy.
You know, but your documentary sucked ass. I don't give a shit about your shitty stories. I don't care about how you sat in a room all day playing video games and now you're a billionaire and you made a documentary about it.
I guess for me, it's more of a thing about like, they try to have their hardship be like the hardship. Where it's like, no, everyone gets a little sad sometime in their life. Everyone's gone through a depressive episode, you know?
It's like the fucking tell my story thing.
Draw my life.
Yes. Yes. Where it's like,
And then a thing happened to me, and
erases happy face.
I got very sad.
Which really kind of sucked.
Like, that's what the Jacksepticeye movie was.
Except interspliced with clips of him joking to an audience and being like, and
Yes.
it's weird. He's making a lot of like weird like adult humor in it, but then it pans into the audience. So
And
like
all
5,
children.
it's like 5-year-olds and like 30-year-olds sitting next to each other, and it's like
really weird.
What is this like target demographic?
So weird. Yeah. Isn't that weird to think?
I mean,
that,
my
like,
channel's probably similar. I don't know.
Like little kids and full-grown adults.
I guess it's like adults watching Bluey.
That's weird. That's weird.
The whole reason why I wanted to get big on YouTube as a kid, my like big dream of like this is when I will have made it, is like when I finally get to make a draw my life, that's when I know I'll have made it as a YouTuber. That was like my 14-year-old vision.
See, but that's when you got into YouTube, was when that was a popular thing.
It was.
Where every
I would watch the
YouTuber did
Boogie
that.
one and I'd cry.
The Boogie one is the Boogie one and the Susie Burhow one are the ones I think of the most.
I've never seen the Susie
because
Burhow one.
It's the same thing as the Boogie one, where it's like,
And then I did this thing, and then I got sad.
unhappy face. Unhappy face.
His was like, okay, you had a pretty bad childhood. Like that made me sad as a kid watching it.
Watching Boogie's Draw My Life made you sad?
Yeah, where he talks about how like his dad was like a miner and like he just died of like lung cancer, and like you watching his mom was like going crazy in the background. Like I thought that was pretty sad. Obviously the byproduct of all that being what we see today obviously isn't justified, but I don't know, there's such like a fine line when it comes to like how much a content creator should like overshare their personal life with their audience. I feel like where I usually try to keep that shit pretty private unless it's like against my will.
Yeah, unless like somebody like leaks your DMs or something, or like I don't know, teams up with like an 18-year-old and makes a video or something.
Yeah.
Something weird like that, you know.
where it's just like oh, if it happens, whatever. But like,
but it wasn't you.
It's like
putting it
I
out
don't like
there.
doing that because I don't like acting as if my life is any important than like someone else's life, that I have to like make
it seem like has more validity or superiority.
Or
in
I
a
don't know,
way.
just put it on blast and be like, yeah, this is what's going on in my life, you know?
You know, Mark, we should make a fake Draw My Life and open this video with that.
We should make Draw My Wench.
Yeah, let's make a Draw My Life with his wench.
And
he's
then
gonna.
I got very sad. And then I got very sad. I was gonna burst. And then I had to go pee. I was really gonna burst.
But yeah, it's like whatever. Like Jacksepticeye seems like a nice guy. Whatever.
Seems
like
like
it's
a
just-
nice guy.
But it's just like I can't.
But I don't respect
I can't
you.
look at that and go like that's a piece of art right there,
Yeah, it's not.
and that's because it wasn't made to be, you know. But I guess it just comes off kind of like pompous to me, where it's like, here's a documentary about how cool I am and how like, here's my success story because one time I was sad, and it's like so is everyone.
I don't know. Whatever. Friends helping friends, lifting each other up. We're just fucking, you know what we are? We're like the fucking old men in Muppets. We're sitting on our thrones, you know. I always forget their name. Even though every time I look it up, I'm like, yes, that's right. Which one are you?
I'll be the taller one.
Yeah, you are the taller one. I wanted to be the shorter one with the mustache.
Yeah, that's us right now, on making fun of poor little innocent Jacksepticeye with his
Is he
pennies to his
innocent?
name.
Is he innocent?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Either way,
Shout out to Mudahar for the awesome candy.
yeah, and thanks to Wench for joining us. And we got some cool special guests for this new year.
We actually do. We actually do.
Lined up. We finally responded to some messages.
It's because we're not moving anymore, so now we can do it.
Yeah, we like have a plan of where we're gonna be.
Oh,
So yeah, and maybe next time, guys, we'll even talk about animation or something like that. Like who knows?
Like how we advertise ourselves to be.